Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Gerry. Joining me today, I've got Max, and it's just the two of us rolling as a duo. I have a couple of theories. One of them is people are busy. The other one is nobody wants to talk about Everton right now.
Yeah, neither do we, to be honest with you.
No, it's instead we say this is a match preview. It's actually just Max talking about the little bit of the Irishman that he's seen so far.
Yeah.
That's all this is.
Have you seen any of it?
No, I haven't seen any of it yet.
I got a shock when I seen how long it was. It's like 3 hours plus. I was like, try and get some of it out the way. So I'm just nearly about halfway through it now. And bloody hell, fantastic film.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what you would expect, I would think. You know, I mean, it's Scorsese, and he doesn't do shit, does he?
No.
Ever. Brilliant guy. Speaking of shit, getting to the point, I was joking earlier. This is actually a match preview. The Leicester match coming up, I believe, this Sunday. Everton travels to Leicester in what could be a final death rattle for Silva, or it could be like one of those scenes where you see a hand coming out of the ground in a cemetery. So, what's it going to be?
The life out of me when I seen that. I was about 10 years old when I watched that film. Jesus, Caddy, wow.
Tell you what, man, it's going to do about the same thing to us if we see Everton actually show up this weekend. We're all going to have that mild little whoa, how many lives does this guy have? So
tell me
we'll
about
see.
it.
Anyway, so as we've alluded to, Silva's gonna be the manager this weekend. So strap in, support the team. Let's do this. Leicester's current form is not favorable conditions for us now.
Haven't they won the last 5 or 6?
They're just crushing it, man.
Liverpool were the last team to beat them. But yeah, they've been absolutely sensational this season, haven't they, Gerry?
Yeah, their past 3. 2-0 over Brighton, 2-0 over Arsenal, 2-0 over Palace. It's like they've got a little pattern going. They're second in the table with 29 points. They're 9-2-2. They're just rolling. They have it's a lot of positive energy when you see them play. It's the opposite of what's going on with us right now. This is either a setup to get exactly what we expect, or some folks are going to be making massive cash when they put a bid down on Everton this weekend. If for some reason there's a big change, because the odds are not with us on that. Possible lineup: Schmeichel, Pereira, maybe Johnny Evans. He's been dealing with a calf issue, so if it's not Johnny Evans, it'll probably Wes Morgan, something like that. Soyuncu, the Turkish.
Yeah,
so the Turkish center back.
Excellent signing.
That worked out so well for them.
Yeah, something like 20-30 million.
I mean, Leicester with the signings, they tend to get it right. Then Ben Chilwell on the left. Then just an amazing defensive center mid in Ndidi.
One of my favorite players at the minute.
He's a magnet. He's everywhere.
He balances going to university at the same time as his playing career. I think he does a business degree at one of the local universities.
So he's
he's a grounded
smart
dude.
And diligent as well as being this just great player. Jeez. So Chilwell on the left, Ndidi. Then Harvey Barnes, who actually leads the team in assists right now with 4. James Maddison, who is one of the more exciting and fun players to watch right now in the league. Yuri Tielemans, Belgian international, who has also worked out quite well for them.
Yeah.
Jose Perez, great acquisition.
Yeah.
And Jamie Vardy, who is sitting, and I don't know why it feels like the quietest 12 goals I've ever seen. I see him every week. I know he's scoring the goals. I just didn't realize he had 12. That's just...
Yeah, let me put this question to you, Gerry. Do you remember, I think it was pretty much off the back of when they won the league, when Leicester, that fairy tale, and then when they've managed to somehow win the Premier League, and obviously Vardy's getting linked with all these kinds of moves to top clubs. I think even at one point he was linked to going to Atletico Madrid. And in our abundance of cash, he was linked with us. And I think, obviously, due to his age, 30 plus, we just kind of went, no, there's obviously brighter options out there that we can go for. So we just kind of shut that down pretty quickly. Knowing what you know now, would you take him?
It's tough because it's, take him. I mean, how can you not? I mean, there's a factor there. There is something innate. There's some kind of innate confidence that is inside him where he's just hyper clinical. He knows where to be. He's just a really sharp player who's gone through like every layer of football, every level, you know? So yeah, I mean, I'd have to. I can't say, I mean, do I think strikers are a problem? No. I don't. I think if we had a system that was working for us, I think we'd be scoring the goals we need, and we would still lament missing like one striker. You know, but I still don't think that's our biggest issue. But yeah, I'd have him, dude.
Yeah.
It's Jamie Vardy.
Yeah.
See?
Established name now, isn't he? You know, he's one of the of this generation of English players. He's one of the. I know he's now retired from international football, but he's one of those names that kind of springs to the lips, doesn't he? Like we've gone through kind of a couple of years of mediocre, above average centre forwards. The best of those probably being Daniel Sturridge, Danny Welbeck, Ricky Lambert being the namesake of another few. But yeah, as you say, it's one of these players that in later age he's just seemed to explode into the finer form of his life.
There's like half their starters. I'd be like, yeah, bring them on.
Let's have them. Individually, man for man, they're absolutely sensational, and like the team, as you're saying, they're not only very exciting to watch, but they work diligently, collectively. That's obviously epitomised by the work that Ndidi does. But and I know the audience and whoever's watching will probably scowl when I say this, but you've got to give full credit to Brendan Rodgers for it.
See, I was about to mention him, and I was going to scowl myself while I said it. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's come in, and it even when Liverpool, I think it was 13, 14, when they pressed Man City, Stevie slipped and they just missed out. But it's like that kind of fluidity in the play, it's there with Leicester. And may I argue that Leicester are a better defensive unit than what that Liverpool team is.
Yeah, and they're doing it with I feel like they're doing it with less means than Liverpool was.
Oh, they've spent exceptionally well. I think I had a little look before at like the price tags on some of the acquisitions. Maddison was about 22 million. Tielemans is more expensive, as you'd assume, coming from Monaco. I think he was about 40. Ricardo Pereira, absolutely fantastic fullback.
Yeah.
I think he was about 19-20 million. Soyuncu, as you mentioned, 19 million. And Ndidi, steal a lot, 15 million.
Yeah.
Perez, arguably, a bit overpriced, 30 million, but still doing the job. And who knows where they're going to end up this season? Because the more they continue to put in these type of performances, it's like they can go anywhere and feel confident that they can beat anyone. Champions League, high possibility.
Yeah, I would even argue in this market today, 30 million for Jose Perez is not even that bad. You know what I mean? I don't even think it's that overpriced. I think hindsight is always 20/20, but he's doing the job, and he was a pretty consistent goal scorer already.
Yeah.
Consistent goal scorers in the Premier League should cost a little more. They should, even if they're coming from Newcastle, and if they do seem slight or undersized, which he does when you see him play. But he's a fantastic passer, and he's a clinical finisher.
Yeah.
He's a smart player. That was a good one. I mean, and on the bench, I looked at their bench for the last match. Demarai Gray.
Gray. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of his. He's one of those that hasn't quite reached his potential yet, but he's still got every possibility to do so.
I remember us being connected with him as well, and I wanted that to happen really bad. I was like, that's a young, exciting player.
Yeah, dare to say it. I don't like leaning too much on the realm of video games, but he's one of my first go-to football manager signs with Everton.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I've got to get with Football Manager, man. I'm scared to death I'm going to get addicted to it, and that'll be all I do. My kids will be just sitting there like, Dad, can we play? I'll be like, no.
I know.
I finally got a manager now. I finally got a good signing going. Man.
You're in the year 2030 and you've just about got Everton to the first Champions League final. Yeah.
It would feel worth it. It would feel totally worth it. But I mean, Ian Nacho is on their bench. Dennis Pryatt, another Belgian international. These are good players, and they're on the bench. I'm assuming they start every once in a while, but they have a lot of pieces. They have a lot of pieces. So it's not. I mean, it's gonna take. I think it's going to take some shaking up from Silva to really throw them off tactically. So how are we going to line up? Because I don't think there's a chance in hell we line up the way we did last match.
Really? You're really going to say that? You're going to go...
The 2-0 loss. Every time we lose, Silva shakes it up.
True. But what it was for me, Gerry, that Norwich game is that, like, as I said previously, I agree with the notion of not changing a winning side. But when you look subjectively at that 2-1 win at Southampton, we made hard work of it.
We were saying the same thing.
Yeah.
When we were recording a show the other day, we said the same thing.
You juxtapose that with, I know it was, not too long before we played them, but you juxtapose that with Leicester's performance away at Southampton.
Mm-hmm.
Playing, setting records, 9-0, passing it through them, like, slicing through butter. I don't know. I really don't know, Gerry. And I was pressed for positive. I genuinely could not find one.
Yeah, Paul. I pressed Paul for positives on the show the other day, and he said the guy who was doing the hit the bar challenge had a really good outfit, and that was his biggest positive.
even that I thought was a bit silly, to be honest with you.
The way he described it, it sounded super silly. It just depends on who you are, I reckon.
Yeah,
right?
It's a bit stupid for me, but each to their own.
You're so hard to please. So how are we going to line up, man? How are we going to do this? How's Silva going to do this? Do you see because I feel like he's given us some clues post-match as to what we might do. And that's where I put my lineup together. That's how I put my lineup together.
Go on.
So I'm not fully sure if he's going to switch out any of the center backs because there was some confusion there. Just throwing that out there. However, again, this is a quick team we're about to play. So, Pickford in goal. I think he subbed Sidibe out for a reason, and I think Coleman will be back in. Holgate and Mina, I could see them staying in. Slight chance Keane comes in for Holgate.
Michael Keane, what's going on? Not looking good, is it?
No. If he wants to go strictly for speed, though, then Sidibe comes in and stays in. But after he yanked him last game for Coleman, and what was I think right now he feels like we need some veteran like metal, some grit from someone who's really going to get on to everybody. So I think Coleman will be in. Holgate, Mina, Dean. I don't know if Delph is back. I don't know if he's back. Have you heard anything? Do you have any idea?
No, I've not heard anything. But apparently he was touch and go for the Norwich game, and it wouldn't surprise me if he did come in. Probably more likely in the place of Schneiderlin, because I think he's going to take up that defensive responsibility, isn't he?
I'll throw him and Davies in there, and then Richarlison, Iwobi Walcott. I've got Iwobi coming in at the center attacking mid position instead of Sigurdsson, and DCL up at striker, up the center forward position. Silva said we weren't quick enough. And I feel like the only way to really make us quicker is to go back to the formation we were doing before. You know what I mean? And because we had a little run there where we were playing better, where Iwobi was playing that center attacking mid position.
Yeah.
I think he may go back to that, and I think DCL's just more speed than Tosin. Even though I don't think Tosin was bad, could have been worse. He put one almost directly in the corner. It was a surprising shot. Yeah. It was really nice. I don't think our problem was the striker last match. Our problem was we were predictable in our attack.
Whenever we put in a pub, I think what it seems to be a recurring theme now is just predictability. It's this shoving. We've said it, but even when it went bad in the December of last season, it's shoving the ball out wide, crossing it in, and then trying to catch the second ball on the edge of the D. And they didn't conjure up very good goal scoring opportunities against Norwich. So
they blocked every single one, man.
Yeah.
Every single one was from the center area, and they had plenty of people back, just chilling, sitting there reading the paper, smoking cigarettes. They were expecting everything.
Yeah, and stung the hands of Tim Krul with a few shots, but it was straight at the keeper. Nothing to get you on the edge of your seat. I don't know. I've just got what made me laugh about when you said Silva said, "I don't feel like we were quick enough." I was like, if you're the manager selecting a side that's got Cenk Tosun, Gylfi Sigurdsson, Tom Davies, and Morgan Schneiderlin in the spine of the squad, you can't come out and criticise them and say that they weren't quick enough because they don't know what.
Pretty certain whoever was running the Twitter account said the exact same thing. Our Toffee Blues Twitter account is either could have been Toffee Blues John or could have been Thomas. Put it out there. You're the one who picked the squad, man. So they said the exact same thing, man. He could change it. He could have changed it. And he actually very late threw Sigurdsson back in a 2. Back there with Davies, a little deeper. So yeah, which I'm not completely opposed to Sigurdsson playing deeper if we were to play a 4-3-3. But I don't see him switching formation this coming up.
Sigurdsson, I think you've got to yank him from the starting lineup.
Agreed.
When he doesn't perform, he's very passive and doesn't really impact on the game. And it's proven true in the past that if you take him out, bring him on with 20 to go, he's got every possibility of scoring an absolute worldie like he did against West Ham.
Right there.
So I think it's time to pull the trigger on Alex Iwobi as a number 10. But you know what, Gerry? Swerve the whole number 10 thing. Play a 4-3-3 or play a 4-4-2. I think we've just got to mix it up positionally. To evade the whole predictability in our play. You know what I mean? I just think a formational change. I believe that we've got the players there to do so. If he's willing to put a bit of faith in, the likes of Moise Keane, if he's gonna give Anthony Gordon a run out, which I was very critical of him that he didn't do in the last game against Norwich. I know this game against Leicester now is it's the starting blocks of arguably it's going to be make or break for his Everton career, isn't it? Really, this December is absolutely hectic. I think every game's on telly. I think every game's a Sky game because it's all against the top 6. And again, I don't care when anyone says that's added pressure to perform. And if I'm clutching at straws, we performed exceptionally well against the top 6 sides towards the back end of last season, and you'd like to see some of that spirit coming through. But I just honestly, from an individual basis, from a collective basis, it's just not been good enough. And I think that criticism is just when you've just come off a 2-0 home loss to bottom of the league.
Yep. Would it be kind of ridiculous if you get Silva, who prefers to run a 4-3-3, if he hardly ever ran a 4-3-3 while he was at Everton, just because he didn't really feel like he had the personnel? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like right now, if you run 4-3-3 this weekend, you got Davies, Delph, Sigurdsson, or you throw Schneiderlin in the mix, which honestly, I'd rather not. But you know what I mean? And I know, and apparently Sigurdsson has played in a 4-3-3 for Iceland before. It's a thing he's done. So that would be the only three you can put there, though. You know what I mean? Like, you could throw Schneiderlin in there if you wanted to, but that does take away an extra attacking player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's
tough, man.
It is. It's like I was saying, we genuinely just must be one of the most unluckiest football clubs on the planet Earth. Like, we were top of the league when both world wars broke out. And obviously you've got that 1985 English teams banned from Europe, who were arguably the best team in Europe at that time.
Yeah.
None other than the Blues. But what can you do? Yeah, he's obviously going to put that argument forward that he doesn't feel like he's got the personnel to pull the trigger on the 4-3-3, won't he? Say, Gbamin, Delph. But my counter argument to that is, and I suppose this is even taking aim at Marcel Brands a little bit, which I'm reluctant in doing so because I want him to do well at his job. But if you're profiling these players to sign, look at their injury track record. And I know Gbamin's just one of them where it's very, very unfortunate. I don't think he had much of a blemished record beforehand. But it surely doesn't reflect well on the recruitment when the players that you're bringing in are getting these medium, long-term, or at least kind of niggling injuries that are keeping them out for 1 week, 2 weeks every so often. And what can you do? What do we expect? Do we think we're getting anything from this game?
I don't.
Oh.
I don't. I want him to prove me wrong legitimately, but I feel like it's usually really like right now. If I wanted to be like irrepressibly positive, it would be just a straight, naive, idealistic. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be a real guess. I can't give you a real guess and have it be a win or even a draw. Right now, I've got them continuing their streak of 2-0 wins.
So, it's a fair shout. It is very
it's
fair
bleak
shout.
As hell, and I hate saying it, because I hope we go out there and just shock everybody. It's hard for me not to. That's just for me. That's the realist coming out. The cynical. It's the 41-year-old coming out of me. Jaded by the world.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I don't know. As I said, with it is literally being the 1st of December, the start of such a testing month. I'm inclined to think we might grab a point. So somewhere in my mind, I'm thinking it's going to be like a 1-1. I'm thinking it's going to. See, this shouldn't be the case though, Jerry. We shouldn't be like, oh my God, we're going to draw. Like,
no, you're totally right. That should never be the case.
Whatever football club, we should be going to every ground in the land with every confidence that we're going to turn them over. And as the circumstance has it, we're on the ropes, covering up, trying not to get knocked out. It's not ideal. In my personal opinion, I do think that the cup game is of more importance than the league game, because I know if we got between them, we've got Liverpool, we got Chelsea, we got Man United, and then we got them again. They got Leicester again in the cup. I know. I just think it's a bit of a preview for the cup tie-in at the quarter-final. Hopefully we can, even if we do take a hiding, we can learn from it. We can find some weaknesses that we can hope to exploit when we take them back to our place for the quarter-final.
I will take some positivity if I see if I see changes in a plan in place. That was one of the things that really, like, I have to say this is different. A lot of people compare this to the Martinez situation, and I say this is different because I felt like Martinez hardly made changes. He didn't make very many changes. He hardly ever made formational changes. It was really frustrating to watch. At the very least, Silva changes things. He does. He will change formation in the middle of a game if he needs to. Sometimes it comes across as like really desperate.
Yeah.
But there are changes made. I appreciate there's an effort made on that. But again, it does seem like certain times we're like, oh, we're down 1. Let's do a 2-7-1, and that'll be our formation. You know what I mean? Like it's just throw everything forward. You know what I mean? It's just it feels like that's what we do when we're losing.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. Anything else on this, man? You've made me a little more positive. I mean, if you're picking a possible draw, hey, that's not so bad. I was expecting you to be more pessimistic than myself. So
I just, as I say, with the month that we got coming up and that we play them again in the not too distant future, I think all this kind of, the motions of crisis surrounding the club at the moment, I think he's really going to batten the hatches for this game. And you'll have noticed I've not really took aim at Silva with anything I've kind of said. I've got nothing against them. Like, obviously, there's been plenty of examples of mismanagement, but it transpired. It's been repetitive over the last couple of years. We've just kind of found ourselves in this position again where we're just not favourable. Not great at all, and can't see it changing. But
I would love to see some evidence of something this weekend. Something nudging us in a direction that's not down. That'd be great. All right, Max. Well, then I guess that's it for our match preview. If you're digging the videos, please subscribe to the Toffee Blues YouTube channel. We'd really appreciate it. If you want more Max, check his Twitter, and he will let you know when and where he is going to be. He's got a new venture coming up. He's been recording podcasts, so keep an eye out for that. Check his Twitter. He'll let you know when that's going to start up, because I know he's been gathering voices as he goes. So really excited about that upcoming content. And also check down below. There's a link and a code there. I mean, hey, crazy new sales happening right now, Everton Direct. So click the link, put in the code Toffee or Toffee Blues 5, and you will get an extra percentage off, which is kind of awesome. So, as I say that, for me and Max, thanks a lot, by the way. It's good to see you.
No worries, you too, man.
And for everybody at Toffee Blues, just want to say to all the American people, Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, because I'll probably be celebrating with my family by the time this airs. So there it is. All right, everybody, 3 points this weekend. Is that too much to ask? Yes, but we'll see. Maybe we get it. Much love to everybody. Bye.